Les Conard with the Washout Watchdog and the new Bulldog bucket system, so it's a tank and a bucket all in one. But we have even a tighter situation that we're trying to fix right now. Up in Montreal, they don't have a nickel's worth of room on their truck. Nothing on the rear, nothing on any of the frame rail, so we're having to use the fender. So this represents the truck fender on the passenger side. So I'm on the passenger side of the truck. I got a couple of tires here, then I come back down and I've got a bumper down here that I'm going to use. I have two receivers, just like you use when you're putting a trailer hitch together. It's made from the same material. We got 2x2 tubing and then this trailer hitch material here that we have with a pull pin that will lock it into place so it can't come out going down the road. So what we've done is we've got a plate here and we've got a plastic plate here. These are both attached to the fender so that this can slide in and out off the fender. Now, as you know, the fender's a little bit high, so we don't want to have a bucket full of water or anything and try to put that bucket back in the rack. So what we want to do is when we get a bucket full of water, we're going to leave that on the bumper on the other receiver, so we're going to have to move this entire thing. So when you're not using the washout system, the driver can easily put this up on the rack, slide it in, pull this forward, lock it into place with that same technology, and it's good to go. If he has to, when it's time to use the washout system, he simply pulls that out, pulls this back, and the bucket's just going to come off. He's going to set that on the ground and take the lid out and leave that on the fender. The rack is going to come out in a little bit. He'll then take this and come back and hang it on the chute. I'm going to film this with a live truck, but it's also nice to have this here so we're not confused by all the other stuff. This is a bumper on a truck, and we're going to weld this piece onto it, and we're going to leave the rack going back to the plant. The rack will be back here secure, no problem. We can't leave it there all the time because when they're backing into a pump, it would get smashed. But when you're going this way with the truck, back to the yard to clean out, this is a perfect spot for it. We've done it a lot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this pin and we're gonna take this rack and the driver's gonna take it over, slide it into the other position. Now, what's nice is my welder came up with this. If we have this, it makes it a little bit easier for instead of trying to hit just the right hole, this gives you the opportunity to lay it on there. And when you get it adjusted and you know you have it, then you can slide it in. This is obviously going to be welded, so it'll be good. And it's built to just ride behind the bumper all the way back where your chute's back here as well. So it's not out in traffic. You would finish your washout. When the bucket had enough water in it that you think that it's time to move, you could simply put it in the rack, which is going to be low. Now with the Bulldog bucket system, this becomes a bucket if you needed to wash out more than you felt like you wanted to lift. So you would then hang this from the chute and put a hose on it, go upstairs, finish your washout. All the big stuff would be in the bucket. The water would then transfer in here, and then you would take this back when you were done, and it would become a lid. So the bucket is now a tank. So that's what's kind of neat. The bucket becomes a tank, the lid becomes a bucket, and then a lid. So it's all one unit, so you don't need to have a tank. In this truck, they already don't have enough room, so one item that we have to move back and forth. I want you to remember that this is going to be mounted about down here. So it's a lot easier to do all that we need to do. Now when they get back to the yard, they're simply going to take the top off and drain the water, lift it up, and they're just going to lay this in the rack just like this and finish their washout here. So they're not going to have to pick up anything heavy. When the bucket is empty, before they go on their next round, they're simply going to take this out, put it back up on the fender. Now this is back at the yard. And again, as you know, this was welded, but it's not welded. They're going to take this, bring it back, and again, they just have to find out where it fits. So when they know that they got it where it fits, They can then let it slide on the piece of plastic here that's also mounted on the fender, and we're just going to push it back into the slot, put it where it needs to be, put the tank back together in the bucket. So you've already cleaned your bucket, it's good to go. Your hose is also in here. Put it back in the rack until next time. So this is what we've done for a truck that really doesn't have any room. So I don't like to move a full bucket up on the fender, but this isn't too bad. It's close to the body. They move it on, they slide it on, they take the bucket off. When it's down here and it's time to work with something heavy, it's much lower, much easier for them to work with. So this is the new system that has 2 sliding receivers, one that's welded to the bumper, one that's bolted to the fender with this piece of plastic to help it slide back and forth easily. So we're going to get a video of this on a truck, and that'll be a little bit easier for you to understand, but I wanted you to have this prior to us getting it mounted.